I hit up Sean when I was just ripping a bunch of products from Callow Data. I was talking to him, I was like, what should I do? Should I scale up this one brand? He told me lock in on this one brand, scale it up, and locked in on that one brand. I've been pushing ever since.
I was looking for, tips to scale during Black Friday because it was my first Black Friday. So I joined. One of my friends invited me. So I was able to scale like 100K a day on Black Friday.
How old are you guys?
I'm 19.
I'm 18.
What is it about eCom that you love?
Bro, it's the freedom. Like 2 days ago, we were in the desert the whole entire day riding ATVs. Like obviously we should be working more, and I know I just talked about all the problems.
All right, guys, so we're here today with a couple of evolvers. Finally, bro, we have been slacking so hard, but
Indeed.
there's no better. We actually got two. We got double trouble today, but I wouldn't have asked for two other dudes to join us today on the first Evolve interview. Today, we've got with us on my right, Mr. Jonathan, and on my left, Mr. Nate. And these two guys have been in Evolve now for a couple of months, I think a little bit longer. Jonathan's getting closer to OG status, but these guys are two absolute savages, and I'm really, really excited today because we're going to walk through how they've scaled their brands, talk about some of the things that they've learned, what they used to do, what they're doing now, and so, well, I guess let them introduce themselves. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Absolutely. So thank you, Sean and Spencer, for having us. First off, I'm Jonathan, been in Evolve. I don't even remember when I joined. November? October? Somewhere like around start of November. I remember I hit up Sean when I was just ripping a bunch of products from Callow Data. I was talking to him, I was like, what should I do? Should I scale up this one brand? He told me lock in on this one brand, scale it up, and locked in on that one brand. I've been pushing ever since. Been fire so far.
Yeah. How long have you been in eCom for?
Less than 6 months.
Less
than half a year.
These kids, bro.
What about you?
Yeah, so thank you guys for having us. Yeah, again, my name is Nate, and I joined Evolve around mid-November. I remember it was right before Black Friday. And, I was looking for, tips to scale during Black Friday because it was my first Black Friday. So I joined. One of my friends invited me, and no. And so I watched the modules and everything, and so I was able to scale like 100K a day on Black Friday.
Crazy.
And
Pop the screenshot.
Yeah, put it right here, in front of his face.
Yeah, just edit that in. So I've been watching the Evolve course and everything, and it's been great community. Been learning a lot. And, I started e-commerce around about a year ago, starting now. Crazy. And, it's been going great since.
All right. So you guys have been in eCom. You are less than 1 year. You are 1 year now.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
I'm 19.
I'm 18.
Imagine at 18 years old, you're hitting 100K days.
Bro's cooking.
In class.
And it's not just us in Evolve, bro. There's other teenagers in there, like, crushing, bro.
Crazy stuff, bro.
It's crazy. Well, numbers-wise, Nate, you kind of mentioned you had 100K a day, which is just, it's just mind-boggling to me. But for you, Jonathan, what kind of numbers are you doing right now?
So right now I'm doing like 45 to 55K a day, like between two brands. It's been crazy. When I first joined Evolve, I think I was doing like 20K a day, but that was between one main store and then like 10 just pump and dump stores. And I just locked in on the main one brand, scaled that one up to like 30, 40K a day. And then I started the second brand like 2 weeks ago, and we're pushing like multi-5-figure days now. So
already
crazy so far. Yeah.
Easy.
That's nuts. What about you, Nate? What were you doing before the 100K days? Where were you at, man?
So I think I was pushing around 20 to 30K days. I was still getting my systems up and ready for Black Friday. I didn't really have a game plan. And so I joined Evolve, just to learn the strategy for Black Friday. And so I was able to push to 100K days. And I've scaled down like a little bit in January, but now we're pushing back up again. We're around like 50, 60K days right now.
Crazy.
Crazy. Yeah. And I mean, talking about like for you guys to go, I mean, you guys are both around 20K a day, like you said. You hit 100, you're at 50 plus now. Like, how is the scaling process changed? Like, what do you guys feel like you're doing differently? You mentioned obviously you guys have watched the modules, and I think both of you guys, like, honestly, you guys ask a ton of questions. Mm-hmm. And like for some people, it's like, bro, like sometimes like, man, yo, Jonathan, chill, man. But like, I respect it so much because these guys, like both of you guys, you're just always hungry. Like you're always wanting to learn more. And then the reason why I'm actually like more than happy to like go in and try to answer, like I remember I gave you a CRO audit. It's like you guys just action it. And like we were just talking about that before this, like growth only happens when you learn something and then action it, right? That's what growth is. Yeah, exactly. It's what it's all about. And both of you guys, obviously you can't get to where you're at without taking action. But to go back to my question, like, how do you feel like your scaling process has changed? Like, what was your scaling process maybe before Evolve, and what is it like now?
Bro, oh my. I don't even know where to start. So before Evolve, it's like I was just ripping everything, like taking Calidata, TikTok Shop videos. And it's not even like I was doing it in a simple media buying strategy. It was like bid caps, cost caps, ABO, interest testing, like all this shit that now after being in Evolve doesn't even matter. Like I'm scaling off literally one CBO for US now, one CBO worldwide exclude US, and that's it for both brands. But the main thing has really just been focusing on creatives, because before I thought it was the media buying strategy that was going to take me to the top. But once I realized that once you just put more creatives into that one campaign, it's going to literally spend more. So you have to raise the budget, and it just keeps on going up. So it was just locking in on creatives to actually scale instead of just media buying, trying to launch new products. Because I thought the most I could do off this one brand was like 10, 15K a day. I thought it was going to be capped. And then I started actually making my own creatives, and I was pushing like 50K days just off the one brand in January before all the problems happened. We can probably get into that later. But yeah, it's just been creatives pretty much for me.
What about you, Nate?
Yeah, so before I joined, I was doing all the creatives myself. You know, I would write scripts and give it to my editor and things like that. And that's what I did up until Black Friday. But then since then, I've hired like a creative strategist to assist me in, you know, helping me with my creatives. And it wasn't the greatest hire I would say, sorry. But, you know, I sort of neglected myself in sort of the creative process once I hired him. So I need to work on that, you know, still being involved in the creative process, because, you know, I've learned from you guys that like creatives is literally what scales you. And so, you know, I'm locking in more on that.
Yeah, 100%. I think the creatives was the biggest thing for me. I mean, it's like once you get a grasp on the creatives, you can try and outsource it or like do everything yourself, and then try and do higher leverage things, which is what I'm trying to do now. Like actually start doing some CRO stuff, because I haven't even touched that yet, which is going to scale us even further. But that's why I'm trying to bring on a strategist now. But it's a hard process, very hard process to get one. We went over that before. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also do a lot of little things in my business that I shouldn't really be doing. And I should be like delegating like a bunch of my tasks. Like you mentioned, to hire like a media buyer, you know, to upload ads for different things. You know, because I don't want to be clicking buttons 30 minutes, 40 minutes every day. You know,
pushing
wasting my
100K
time.
days. Media buying.
Bro, I wasted 2 hours of my day yesterday because the ads took so long to upload. We couldn't even leave the place because I just needed to upload my ads because the Wi-Fi is so bad. Could just have someone do that and pay them $5 an hour.
Yeah.
Literally a waste of my time. I don't know why I'm still doing it.
Yeah. But it's all part of it, man. Like you guys learned that, and I think that's kind of what entrepreneurship is about. Is like a lot of us have no idea what we're doing. You know, like we're learning business backwards. Literally. But it's the best way to learn, because you make a ton of money while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like most people pay to learn that. It's like we're making money while learning it, which I think is dope. And yeah, I mean, I think for you guys both right now, like I want to I don't want to talk all about the program, but I also want to understand, like what kind of surprised you about Evolve? You mentioned that you were trying to do media buying before, and then, you know, you asked Sean 14 different questions and he just responds creatives every time. But like what surprised you guys about Evolve? Like, was there anything in there that was like an unlock for you outside of that, or just anything in general?
I think the main thing for me was, bro, the AI stuff. Because it's like before, because obviously I was like ripping a bunch of stuff before. I thought I was going to have to write out every single script I was making, like image ads, do all this stuff myself. And then I get into the program, it's like you need to do the market research. You obviously need to understand the customer. But once you have that understanding, you can just plug stuff into Claude, plug it into ChatGPT once you've trained it, and then they just literally spew out winning ads, winning content. Like especially for me, because I'm doing a lot of AI UGC stuff, it's like I can just repeat this stuff over and over and over again. I'd probably launch 10x the volume I'm doing right now if I get a strategist and like a bigger creative team. But it's like such a simple process overall. I thought making a winning ad was going to take my whole entire day. It's like if I put the right prompts into Claude and understand the customer well enough, it spews it out in like literally a second. So saves a lot of time. The AI stuff was the biggest thing for me. Market research, understanding the customer, and then how simple like the media buying strategy is. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I would say like the CRO portion of the module is pretty well. So you guys do like, you know, stress about the importance of like congruency in the ads. So, you know, sometimes my ads wouldn't be directly aligned with my landing page. You know, I asked you for the audit, Spencer, and yeah, that helped a lot. You know, making everything congruent and aligning with what the customer wants to see. And, you know, I did through that. I learned more about the customer and, you know, different research techniques through the research portion of the course. And so that really helped.
What's kind of right now, because you guys obviously, I mean, I think when a lot of people see like, you know, you hit 100K a day, you hit a 50K a day, everybody looks at that and they're like, oh man, these guys like are living the life. Like everything must be so easy for them. It's so great. Like I kind of want to ask you guys, you know, like what kind of problems are you guys facing now? And you talked a little bit about it. And Jonathan, I know you probably want to go off on this, but you know, like what is something like, what is it? Because I think you kind of have to become a different person in a sense to like deal with that. You know, like you guys are doing like to do 100K a day. I don't want to say how many customers, but like you probably had hundreds and hundreds of customers buying your products. And it's like, I don't think people understand that kind of volume. Like I remember when I first saw my first 100K month, it like blew my mind. And you're doing that in a day, you know what I'm saying? And so like right now, what are some of the challenges that you guys are dealing with, or what at this level for you guys to get to the next level, like what does that look like for you? And again, more importantly for the first part of the question, what have been some of the challenges for you guys?
I think number one, cash flow, first off, like at this scale, especially because both of us, we use top-up agency accounts. So it's like we're paying for our ad spend upfront. So like right now, literally over 6 figures of my net worth is in my ad accounts right now. So that's never fun. I have a reserve on Shopify. I just got it lifted like a couple days ago. So cash flow problems, number one, like PayPal too. But even worse than that for me, like last month, bro, ad account bans left and right. Like my January graph literally is like this. Up and down, like 50K a day, 4K a day, because I get ad account banned, back up to 40, just like ad account bans. When you get to scale, if people are trying to rip your stuff, DMCAs, for me, I got DMCA'd probably like 7-8 times in January.
Crazy. Lost
access to my Shopify admin 2 times. I had to completely turn off every single ad I was running. So lost momentum. It's just competitors trying to rip your stuff, cash flow, Facebook being Facebook, to be honest. Those are the main things. I mean, at scale too, it's like with cash flow, you don't realize how much money you're losing to chargebacks, refunds, disputifier fees, like all that type of stuff. I don't even calculate that in. It's like I need to get a P&L. I don't have any QuickBooks or any of that stuff. So I need to turn into like a real business at this scale at least. 100%. That's the main thing.
Yeah, so one of the big problems I face is I do a lot of tasks that are more like VA work, you know? I do a lot of things that like don't really move the needle. And that's one thing I need to like take off my load to focus on more like high leverage tasks. You know, like media buying I mentioned earlier, and some other little things that don't move the needle. So I need to be a little bit better on, you know, hiring high leverage A players, you know? Yeah. So that's one of the things that
I think it's like once you get to the scale of like 1 to like 1.5 mil a month, I think it's really hard to scale to like multi 7-figure months without actually delegating things. Because for me, that's, I think, the hardest thing right now. It's like, I still even clear a lot of the comments on my stuff. You literally saw me doing that earlier. It's like, it's just so hard for me to let somebody else do something that I know can actually affect the business. Because I'm like, if I bring on a media buyer and they add an extra 0 or something, or upload an ad wrong, or turn off a winning campaign, it's like everything's destroyed at that point. Right. So it's just hard to delegate and then find people who can actually do good work so you can focus on like more needle moving things, obviously creatives too, but focusing on like CRO stuff, launching new SKUs, trying to get your AOV up, things like that really push the needle like at scale, because a little conversion rate increase is going to cause like a massive increase in your ROAS and profit margin overall. So just delegating overall, I think it's really hard at this scale.
People always say, you know, on Twitter or wherever, you hit these crazy numbers, life is good, but there's a lot of more issues that come with that, bro. Delegation, for example, you guys with the ad account bans. It's a lot of crazy stuff, right? I mean, it's good that you guys have scaled to these numbers already. You guys know what you need to focus on. I mean, the next step for you guys, for us to teach you guys at least, delegation, you know, these type of things. So we can get to the next stage to, you know, the 10 million months upcoming.
Literally, It's not going to happen with doing everything ourselves. Know that for a fact.
It's because like you're like your biggest generator, but also your biggest bottleneck. Exactly. You know? And like that's one of the hardest things to break past, because like I said, we're learning business backwards. But once you get that, and once you actually find, I think I made a tweet randomly, it probably got like 3 likes, but it was like, if your team doesn't motivate you or like fire you up, like it's the wrong team member, right? Exactly. And the thing is, and you mentioned like you're gonna hire a media buyer that's gonna add an extra 0, and that's probably gonna happen. Or like you actually added it was you that did that, right? You actually added another 0 before midnight. So it's like, bro, like if you're making the mistake, somebody else probably will too. Exactly. But like my point is I think that's something where you kind of got to take that leap, though. You know what I'm saying? Because like to get to that next level, it's like it's hard to do it all by yourself. And like I said, we're all learning this backwards, but the most important thing is like you just keep pushing forward. And for you guys, it's like you have good feedback loops, and we can see that like the people that join Evolve and like crush and scale, it's just feedback loops.
Yeah.
And like I hate kind of like, I don't want to say like we're taking credit for helping you guys scale, because I think honestly no matter what, you guys probably would have got to where you are. Maybe we help expedite
We're
that.
just taking a lot longer.
But like you guys just learned like, okay, I did this and it worked. It's like, I'm gonna do more of that. Or like, okay, I did this and it didn't work, I should stop doing that, right? And I think for both of you guys, like doing that over and over and over is what's gotten you to where you are. And it's honestly, it's crazy impressive. Like we have brands come in thinking they're hot shit doing like 200K a month. And I'm like, yeah, we got dudes in there doing that every 2 days. Like, you know, it's nothing. It's nothing. But rather than challenges, like what is something like, what do you love about eCom, bro? Like maybe talk a little bit more about like, obviously the cash, like obviously the money that comes in when you don't have holds. But like, what do you love most about eCom, bro? Like what is about eCom that you love?
Bro, it's the freedom. Like it's 2 days ago, we were in the desert the whole entire day riding ATVs. Like obviously we should be working more, and I know I just talked about all the problems that come with it, but once you get to a certain point, it's like things are moving fine. When the problems stop happening, like we went to the desert, we rode camels and drove around in ATVs all day, and the brands printed like
on a Thursday,
50K between both, solid profit margin. It's like I maybe worked 30 minutes that day. I don't think there's any other business model where you can have the scalability to like scale up this quickly and have this much revenue coming in like that quickly in such a short amount of time, but also have the freedom that eCom has. Like we're in Dubai right now, in the middle of the world, just printing off eCom on
and
we
booked last minute flights.
I literally booked my flight 2 days before to go to eCom, all for free too because of Amex points. Exactly.
Yeah, I love the scalability of eCom. You know, you can literally start a store from zero and go to 100K within a month, and so like that's literally what freedom is. You know, you can be literally anywhere and still bring money out of thin air. Not out of thin air, but you know, you're still putting in some work.
It's kind of like
pretty much.
You know?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah,
what
I love that.
I would say for like, just to try to maybe get a little bit more into your story, you know, you've only been in eCom in 6 months. Like what do you think was like the biggest thing that actually helped you get going in eCom? Because like obviously when you started, like we weren't there, you probably were watching some YouTube or something, like maybe someone is right now. Like what actually helped you get going? Because you got the 20K a day, which some people would be like, they'd be happy with that alone. Same with you, right? Like how did you even get there first off? Like that's my question for you.
So shout out my boy Brock. Basically my friend Brock eCom, I paid him for like consulting, coaching, whatever you want to call it. Back in August, he basically showed me the ropes of like how to do eCom, how to run ads, how to do a CBO, how to build a store with like the theme that he uses, like basically everything that he uses, and showed me like the product research method, how to get creatives, we'll keep it at that, how to scale quickly. And that was the biggest thing for me. I think I just got very lucky like finding him and him teaching me everything, but also I got very lucky on like the first couple products I tested because they're absolute banger products, and then just testing a bunch, because at the beginning of eCom it's just about finding a winning product, because you can make the best creatives in the world, but product is of course going to be a big part of it. Once you have a good product plus really good creatives, that's what truly scales you. But I think it was just having the right method and just testing, because I was testing 2 to 3 products a day like all of September until I found this like main winner. So that was the biggest thing, just spam testing products.
And how did you find this Brock dude?
Twitter. I literally hit him up on Twitter, DM'd him on Instagram. We got on a call. I paid him 2.5K or something, and that was the highest ROI investment I've ever made in my life.
Well, there you go. And I think that's something like I'm the biggest advocate. Like I've spent easy over 6 figures, and like I think the last 2 months I've spent close to 6 figures on education. Like
I think
you just have to invest in yourself.
Exactly. Like I think up to this point, because before I did eCom, I was doing sales. I was closing for like high ticket coaching programs, slinging offers for like 5 to 8K on sales calls. So it's like I've always been the easiest person to close. I just like throw money at info. I bought some info that's good, some info that's bad. Obviously Evolve is very good. There's some eCom programs I bought, spent 5 figures with that are not the greatest in the world. We'll keep it at that. But it's just you have to spend money to like keep on growing, because at some point it's like you can't just learn everything from watching YouTube videos. You have to find people who are where you want to be, pay them, and then you get there even quicker. I think that was the biggest thing for me, like paying you guys for Evolve, paying Brock, paying other mentors I've had just expedites the process so much more than like you could do by yourself.
And honestly, bro, like I'm not gonna lie, I used to have the belief, not what you're saying is not right, because I do think like you need more than just YouTube videos, but nowadays, man, like there's probably enough sauce to just learn from YouTube. But like the problem is like I had somebody say this to me last month. It's like when you pay attention.
Exactly. It's like if you because I was trying to, when I first got into sales, I was like, oh, I'll just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, try and do it. It's like, I watched one YouTube video and then I'd go like lay on the couch and watch Netflix. It's like, when you drop a couple $1,000s on a program or something, it's like, you're going to lock in on that because you just spent
100%.
a couple $1,000s. And it's also like, everything's so condensed. And of course, you watch through everything compared to YouTube videos. It's like, you want to learn creatives, you go over here. You want to learn media buying, you go over here. It's like so much different stuff and everything's condensed. And it's like, you spend money, you force yourself to actually learn and make use of that money that you spent.
100%.
Yeah.
What about you, Nate? What do you love most about eCom, bro?
Yeah, so I used to day trade, and so one of my friends, one of my friends, he was running it up on TikTok ads, and so, you know, I asked him how do you do it and stuff, and he showed me a little bit, and then I quit for a little bit, and then I started up again, testing random products like on PP ads, not really learning anything. I would just like be a straight ripper, just copy everything one-to-one and just launch it, hoping it would work, hoping I'd get a couple sales, hopefully reaching $1,000 days. But, you know, that never really worked and stuff. And so I never really paid for any mentorship. I don't think I've dropped a dime on a mentorship or like course or anything. But I'd get all my sauce from like different Discords and communities on Twitter. And so like, I think Twitter like has the most sauce like everywhere. So, you know, I just learned a lot from those places and I like ingested the information. And so I started testing some random products on Facebook and I found this product and whatever, and I had this one friend, and he was doing like a free mentorship or whatever, and he kind of helped me boost it to like 100K months, and yeah, I've been going well from there, and so then I joined Evolve and pushed it even further.
Yeah. But you were still hungry enough, like even though, so for you, like you didn't specifically pay, but like, what do you feel like was a big motivator for you? Like you just wanted to make money? Was that like your first thing, or like what really motivated you to push?
Yeah, so when I do something, I always go all in, right? So I don't really quit. Like, I'm not a quitter. And so, you know, I knew it was just literally a time game. So I just keep doing it, keep putting in the work, and, you know, the outcome would eventually come. So, yeah, that's what really pushed me.
Consistency, man.
Yeah, consistency, literally.
Interesting. So you guys are super young, right? You just turned 18, you're 19, you know. A lot of people your age, people see, you know, partying and whatever. But what
Bro,
do you...
I was playing Fortnite.
I
had the scuff. Nah, not anymore. I had the scuff controller, bro. I was sweating there, man. Like that was me at 18. So like that's why it's like I hear these guys are just crazy.
Same shit. But what do you guys feel like was, you know, was different about what you guys compared to, you know, your peers in high school or whatever? What pushed you to really start doing all of this?
The beginning, I think it was Iman Godzi YouTube videos.
Shout out
Beginning of
Iman.
everything. It's like I was gonna start an agency. I don't know. Like from high school, I always just wanted to make money. I thought back in high school that a 6-figure salary was what I wanted to hit.
Yeah,
so literally my whole entire plan of going to college was like either become a software engineer, or do like econ or finance, become an investment banker or consultant, one of like the top paying jobs. Hated all of that. Like I did not want to do comp sci. I cheated through all those classes in high school. I would have been terrible at it. And then what happened to me is like, this was a blessing in disguise. I basically got rejected from like all my top colleges. I got into like a couple top 50 ones, but nowhere like I really wanted to go. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to community college, lock in for a year, see what I can make happen. That's when I did sales the whole time. And I think it's just like, I don't know. I just always wanted to make money. I don't know why. It's just those Iman Godzi videos from the beginning, that lifestyle. I just wanted to have the freedom, because the biggest thing for me is like, obviously you can buy cool things like a watch, you can travel, but I think it's just the freedom of not having to worry about like when money problems happen, it's like, oh yeah, it's fine.
It's good.
Like in our hotel, our mirror is broken right now. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know how the mirror got broken, but it's like $500. It's like some people would be stressing about that.
Nate's like, I don't know how.
But if it was actually us, it's like, yeah, we'll just pay it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not a stressor. I think it's just the freedom and like mental freedom you can have by just having money overall.
So basically, one of my friends, it was like freshman year of high school or whatever, and he was like day trading or whatever. So, you know,
freshman?
He wasn't day trading actually, but he was doing stocks and whatever. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. I think it might have been his dad's money or whatever. I'm not really too sure.
So many kids in high school say they trade stocks.
Yeah. But yeah, I got engrossed into the space a little bit. And so, you know, I was doing all right, but I was actually losing a lot of money as well. So, you know, I really kind of hated it, like losing a lot of money and stuff. So one of my friends, as I mentioned earlier, was running it up on TikTok. And so I continued with that. Because with trading, I did it for 2 years, losing money. So with eCom, you know, spending a few months and, you know, getting results is like, that's like a blessing, you know?
100%.
I think with eCom, like before I watched the Iman Godzi videos, yeah, so all the like make money online stuff that I saw, all of it was drop shipping, like whatever you want to call it. It's just what drop shipping is portrayed as, what eCom is portrayed as on the surface on YouTube is like not even close to what it actually is. Like all those videos are like, find a product on PP ads, run TikTok ads, run image ads on Facebook, and you'll hit $1 million months. But that's not the reality of it. Like for me, I went into sales, and then I always knew I wanted to get back into ecom, but it's like, when was that going to happen? I don't know how I was going to do it. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, what's interesting, the kids getting into ecom, into crypto right now, the ones doing crazy numbers, it's only getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
Right? When he met me, I think I was 18 or so. You guys are, 18, 19 now.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to do with beliefs, People might hate, all these dropshipping gurus, whatever, but they really showed us like what was possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, like some kids in the hallway just be like, "Are you the drop shipper?" Like in a negative connotation, but like, it's still like real business. It's not like some some gimmicky stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I even talked. I was joking about like how I was playing Fortnite and like playing video games, but it's like I kind of compare it because I think most people like how to emphasize this point. Like, how much do you think you were? I mean, I know you mentioned 30 minutes, but like to get to where you were at, you were probably doing 10, 11, 12-hour days, like grinding, trying to figure it out. Yeah, like same with you.
Yeah.
Like even during school and stuff. Same with us. Like we were grinding, we're putting in all this time, but it's like I think for some people, like obviously in the beginning it's a little bit different, but it's like the upside is so massive that like you don't give up.
Exactly.
And it's not like I stopped putting in those same hours. It might have been a little bit less since I've delegated, busy tasks off my hands.
Yeah.
You have
still put in work,
Exactly.
but with this business you can still have days where you're not putting in so much work but you're still printing money, 100%. Having these off days, that we mentioned earlier, having some fun, and then once we get back to our home, we're gonna be locked in
logging
in a few
100%.
hours every day. Yeah.
My point that I was gonna make is like like most people see like our business shit as like work, right? And it's like and then they work at Wendy's or that's a Canadian, Starbucks or whatever. Like they work construction and like even my buddies are like, bro, you work so much. Like how do you work? It's like it's not like that for us. It's like it doesn't feel like work. And what I was gonna say for the video game point is like it feels like we're playing a video game.
Yeah,
most
exactly.
times. Like like you're just building away playing this video game, and like I wish I had that unlock when I was younger. I was pushing sports. I was trying to make it through baseball, and that was a terrible idea when you're 5'9". But the point is like it literally feels like now it's like playing a video game, and I literally tell everybody, I'm like, yo, if you play video games, you can build a business.
Bro, I was like one of the best Fortnite players. Like,
of course,
I was kidding, but like I was pretty.
You were sweating it up.
My whole childhood, like 14, 15, was just playing Fortnite all day long. Like one thing, it's super weird. A lot of the people I met who are really good in ecom right now were like cracked at video games.
100%.
Whether it was like Fortnite, Overwatch,
Quickscope back in my day.
Stuff. Yeah, it was just like they're cracked at video games.
It feels like a game kind of thing. You're building for something. In game, you're always grinding to do something.
You're leveling up, bro. You're trying to get a max prestige.
Exactly.
Literally.
Yeah. Well, I guess speaking of max prestige, what like for you guys, what is the goal? I mean, you guys are already doing crazy numbers. You're both doing over $1 million a month. Like, what is your goal? Like, where do you guys want to see yourself in the next 6, 12 months?
I think 6, 12 months, I think by the end of the year, next Q4, goal is like 100K days all of Q4. Ideally pushing like next Q4 10 mil. That would be amazing if I can do that. Have a lot of subscription base because both of my brands are supplements. Have like well over 7 figures in MRR coming in. But I think it's very possible to get there if we just keep on putting in the inputs, because that's just a 2x from where we are now. So there's a lot of time to Q4, and things might 2x even if I don't do anything, to be honest, because of Q4. But definitely 100K days, minimum 3 mil a month, all Q4.
Fire.
Yeah. So I hope to have like 8-figure year this year. Nice. And Q4 I hope to have as well 100K days. And I hope by the end of the year I am like almost fully out of the business.
Yeah.
Where, I have literally all these systems in place, whether if I'm not in the business for like a month, everything's still running, everything's good. That's the place I want to be at the end of the year.
Yeah. I want to have everything very delegated, like really good creative team in place, really good like CRRs, operations manager, if we're doing that much every single month, everything completely delegated to where I can just look everything over, and obviously maybe launch another brand or focus on some other stuff. That's even bigger than the revenue goals, honestly, because if the 100%. Business can keep on working without me, just and keep on scaling things.
Not just working, bro. Like the next level is growth. Like can the business grow without you? And like that's the bottleneck that we're trying to solve, and that I've been trying to solve. I mean, obviously I'm in the agency space, so it's a little bit different, but it's one of those things where it's like if your business can grow without you, like now you actually are an owner. You know what I'm saying?
Like you're a real entrepreneur.
Yeah, you're a straight up entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're
and
a
like
CEO.
Yeah, getting to that point, it's like you got to have the right people, you got to have the right systems, and that's that takes a lot of, I think that's really the next step for you guys. And you mentioned inputs, keeping the inputs there, but also looking at the things that you need to do to get to that level. And yeah, man, it's like that just goes from you having an ecom brand that's still printing and doing crazy money to just owning one, right?
Exactly.
And that's, I think, like the next level. You spoke of Iman. Iman got me in the space. At the end of the day, like that dude, he just owns a bunch of businesses now. It's like he has them running, he has them growing, and I think that really is it's a great goal revenue wise, but for you or for both of you guys. But what you said, Nate, actually being able to have a business that you can own and runs on itself is just that's the dream, man. That's peak freedom.
The CEO life.
CEO life.
Yeah.
Literally.
100%.
I think hiring is like by far the most difficult thing.
The most
in
important
e-com.
thing you can do. Yeah.
Highest ever
That's
seen
why I
you do.
yapped for 40 minutes at the mastermind.
It was like 2 hours, bro.
2 hours, bro. Oh
I mean, it's the most important
gosh.
thing by far. Because I don't even know if I can sustain 3 mil months, like 100K days without having a really good team in place. I don't think I could across 2 brands.
It's cool to see that though. Like at the event, man, like that was like we did the whiteboard. We actually answered the rest of the questions on the previous pod, but like seeing how many was like hiring. It's like there was like 8-9 marks on that one specific, like how many people wanted to know more about that. And obviously we haven't mastered it, but it was just cool to see like how high level the room was and like how many of you guys are like, you're not just trying to build a brand anymore. It's like you guys are trying to build a business. And I think that's the the next step.
Too.
100%.
That'd be the long-term
that's the
goal.
goal.
Now the problem is though we're all going to be going after the same creative strategist using Sean method.
Yeah, the Sean
method.
Yeah.
But I was very happy to see it as well, because I think we've dialed down pretty much how to get to your 7-figure plus months. The question now is, how do we all get 8-figure plus months?
Yeah.
That's the most important.
How do we all get really good creative strategists?
Besides that, CEO life, chilling in Dubai.
Yeah.
That's the wave. But you guys both scale very fast because you guys all found like mentors, right? I'm curious, like how do you guys go about finding the right mentor? How do you filter out the trash? And how do you guys even find out about us?
Yeah, so I mean, I found my first mentor when I first started, this brand. I think I was in his Discord and he was doing really well on TikTok. And so he had a free mentorship that was opening up. And so I joined it. But it was free. A lot of people might think it was scammy, but I mean, he provided good value, but that was really rare. Like you would almost never ever find those. But I just trusted him. I'm still kind of working with him here and there. He still provides like great value. But yeah, in terms of finding like a good mentor, I would find someone on Twitter or find someone that's doing really well in the space and ask them who they think you should get coached by or receive info from. And so, I found you guys through a friend who said who's also in your community, and you guys were doing providing good value and stuff. And so then I joined from there. So
yeah, I think everybody I found is on Twitter. Like it's funny now because I remember now the first tweet that I saw from you that led me to buying Evolve. It was a tweet about like, if you're just ripping products and running all these stores, you're not making creatives, you're basically just a VA copy and pasting, right? And it's like, after learning all the research, it's like, you understand the target audience, you understand the customer you're trying to like get into Evolve. And that's exactly what I was doing. So I remember I messaged you back and forth on Twitter, you DM closed me, I bought Evolve, and then we had that call. But it was just Twitter, because I was just constantly doom scrolling on Twitter trying to get more and more sauce. I think if you optimize your Twitter, it can be really, really good.
Yeah, like my whole feed is literally just eCom sauce here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. People always comment on my closing strategy. You go to other gurus to get you on a call, everything. I think you close you guys. I just said, yo, here's the link.
Here's the link. Bye.
Yeah.
We did I did a presentation on it. I think it was like 95% of the people in Evolve didn't jump on a call.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, why?
They just like,
Here's the link.
yeah.
Here's the link. Bye.
I remember this is a funny story. One of the big, like this guy messaged me. He's actually still in Evolve. And he's like, yo, he's like, I want to join the program. And I was like, what's holding you back? And he literally said verbatim, he said, the link, LOL. Like, that's all he said. But I was like, say less, man, here you go. He just joined. It's like, because honestly, I think it is just like its value. But like you mentioned something that I think is actually applicable to eCom as well, is like, he understands the customers, right? Yeah. He's relatable. He's like, yo, if you're going on Callow data and you're ripping products and you're ripping creatives, it's not working, blah, 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 blah. And if you're like, bro, that's me to a T, like you just said, it's like, bro, that's exactly what I'm doing. It's not working.
It was exactly me.
Yeah, you're a VA,
that was
right?
the
He's like digging it. You're like, man, you're like, that hurts, So it's like pain's a motivator, I guess.
Yeah.
But
in my pain points directly.
I mean, marketing is universal, right? It's not just in ecom in general. Like even the way I write my tweets, knowing my exact desire and persona, where you guys were at your 6-figure months, getting you guys now to 7.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But you guys have been in, Evolve for some time now. So if someone's on the fence about joining Evolve, what do you have to say about it?
Bro, the connections that you're going to make joining Evolve are second to none. Like, I think my connections that I've gone from there, it's like, I met Rohan in Evolve. I'm moving in with this guy in a house in Hollywood Hills,
Crazy.
like literally tomorrow. Yeah, literally tomorrow. I'm moving into Hollywood Hills with this guy I met from Evolve. I met this guy in Evolve. Yeah. All the connections that I've gotten, the reason I'm in Dubai is like because of Evolve. All the people I've met, connections, like are gonna allow me to scale so much further. It's, if anything, if you think you already know everything, join Evolve for the connections. You probably don't know anything at all, though, to be honest. But creatives are gonna help you scale a ton.
Yeah. Just being around the community with like high level people, you'll be more like them. So like I'm pretty sure there's this quote that's like you're the average of the 5 people around you, and Evolve is literally just full of top top killers in eCom. And so being surrounded by them, getting the connections is really what will help you scale. Like I remember back when I used to play video games, I'd always want to be in the top friend groups with these, we'd play like
the sweats.
Huh?
The sweats.
Yeah, the sweats.
Top
Yeah.
lobbies.
And you'd always like if you were playing with them, you'd always be better.
Yeah.
You'd always like
You
try to
have to get
improve
better.
and be as good as them. So same thing with Evolve. And so
Yeah.
the video game aspect still translates to like eCom and
Yeah.
the business side. Yeah.
Because it's like we're pushing big numbers. Like I don't even feel like I'm pushing big numbers at this point, but we're
Yeah.
probably not even in like the top 20 of the biggest revenue generators in Evolve. Like there's guys in there pushing, doubling our revenue,
Yeah,
tripling our
probably.
revenue every single month. Like
Yeah.
we're still small fish in Evolve and in the game of eCom overall.
And that's what I love. Like we broke you guys into like the tables and the
Yeah.
groups, and then you guys were in a group, and there was a dude there that blew your guys' brains. You
Yeah.
guys were like, "Yo, what?" Like, and even at your level, bro, like it'd be so easy to think you know everything. You're doing
Dude,
a
it's
mil a
like-
month. You're doing
yeah.
hit 100K days. You're like, bro, what else is there to learn? And then just some dude just comes in and just like
Some guy
drops.
isn't on Twitter, isn't on Instagram.
Yeah, just a ghost.
A complete ghost changes my mindset on like
And you're just like,
everything.
bro.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned earlier that like you thought you were capped at like 15 to 20K days.
Yeah.
Like that's not even a thing, right?
Yeah, you can't
But
be
yeah,
capped.
you joined here, you saw like people pushing crazy numbers. That just removed your limiting belief.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here it moved my limiting belief even more. Like after that mastermind, oh my god.
Yeah, like that guy sat down. I'm not gonna say his name, obviously. He sat down at the table and like he said he exited his brand. I was like, how much revenue you do? I was expecting like a couple million. He's like, yeah, 45 million.
Yeah, he's just a chill guy. Like
Chill dude.
chill guy.
Just a chill guy.
You're surprised, bro. The 2 dudes at your table, 9-figure guys, super chill.
Yeah.
The goats.
You'd never know. Well, guys, final thoughts. Any other thoughts? Anything else you want to share while you're on the pod?
Join Evolve. Changed everything for me. I mean, I wouldn't even have a brand right now. I would still be just ripping running with unsustainable stuff if it wasn't for Evolve. So,
Bro, people think you're reading a teleprompter or something.
bro, it's the truth, bro. Evolve actually changed so much. Like, it's crazy looking back on it. It really
Appreciate
is.
that, bro.
Yeah, so I would focus on, building something up and then joining Evolve and then continue scaling from there and join the team and, the community, this network. It's really powerful. So yeah, that's my.
That's what I'll say. Don't join Evolve if you're doing like a couple $100s a day.
Yeah,
Don't waste Sean and Spencer's time. You need something first.
How to launch ABO.
How to launch ABO? $10 ABO interest testing. It'll get you to 100K days. Don't worry about it.
Amazing. But that will be all today, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you guys
Thank you guys for having us on, Sean.